Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk. Of course, we're going to talk about Victor Osimhen and his move to Galatasaray, which is almost at the final stages. And before I get into any details and before I get talking about it, I know this comment section will be full of Galatasaray, Nigerian, Osimhen fans, and you will have very strong opinions against Napoli. To that, I will say, my brother, you are on a Napoli channel. What are you going to expect me to say? Number two, I will try actually to be as objective as possible when I say things. And I just want to do a little bit of a small recap on what's happening, but I'm sure you guys know all about it, and then give a little bit my opinion on the situation. So, small recap, guys. Victor Osimhen's release clause expired on the 10th of July, which we actually thought it was the 15th up until a few days ago, but no, it's the 10th. Galatasaray sends their people over to have a conversation with our sporting director, Manna, and they tried to lowball and tried to change the payment structure of the deal, which wasn't exactly the same as what Napoli had in his release clause, which was 70 million in two different installments, 35 and 35. And Galatasaray first tried to lower the asking price. Then they tried to play with the installments of trying to pay in 5 different installments. Now it seems like the final offer is of 40 million at the front and then 2 different installments for the remaining 30 million. Either way, it's not exactly what Napoli wanted, but I think we're getting to a situation where Napoli is like, okay, fine, this more or less works for us, but we want guarantees from the bank that if you guys don't pay, the bank pays. The problem here is that these bank guarantees, they don't come for nothing. It's a lot of paperwork on their side. You also have to pay probably a certain portion up front to the bank for this fee. So that's another cost that Galatasaray might have. Maybe it's 1%, but 1% is nearly 750,000 euros here. So, it's not nothing. But Napoli is 100% correct in wanting this because Galatasaray themselves proved that they are not a reliable club and partner when it comes to payments, because a few months ago, for a 3 to 4 million euro transfer with a German club, they were delaying payments. So, of course, Napoli is going to ask for guarantees for something that is multiple times higher than that. And it's not because Napoli want to make Osimhen or Galatasaray's life difficult for any personal reasons. It's because Galatasaray proved that they cannot be trusted fully. So it's not Napoli's fault. And if it was your player and your investment, you would maybe make the same exact calls. When it comes to Osimhen's side, by the way, if he really wanted this move and he's been pushing for this move, he could help Galatasaray here, not only with maybe taking an initial pay cut in the first year or so, because look, he's still going and earning a lot more if he goes there. He's going from his current 10 million a year salary to 16 million in Turkey if this deal goes through. He could easily settle for 12, 13, 14 million in his first year. Let them save that 2 million plus taxes in the first year and get this deal over the line with Napoli if that's really what he wanted. And this is something that I just can't wrap my head around as to why the player, if he really wants this, he's not doing enough to help himself. Personally, that's how I would have acted if I was in Osimhen's case. If I really wanted the move, I would have tried to help as much as possible, knowing that I still get generational wealth anyways. Right. But this is what leaves us with a bit of a sour taste when it comes to the whole Osimhen deal. It seemed like as months would pass on from the Scudetto winning moment, that his focus was more and more about himself, about his next move, about money, about fame maybe, than actually the football. And not just, guys, football with Naples and Napoli, but the football that really matters. And I'm not saying that Galatasaray doesn't matter. They're a massive club, absolutely massive. But this guy, he had chances to go play for Chelsea, for Liverpool maybe, for Arsenal, maybe some of the big clubs in Spain. And this is not just a step up from Galatasaray, but maybe also a step up from Napoli. And he could have really put his image up to a different level. He could have gone and been in a conversation with the elites, go play week in, week out with guys like Haaland. Instead, he's preferring the money because no one in the Premier League wants to play that kind of transfer fee plus salary to someone who's proven that he's a little bit immature. He's a little bit too money focused. He's a little bit problematic because, guys, like it or not, we've made mistakes as the Napoli Football Club, SSCN. Guys, we've made mistakes with Osimhen. I don't think the fans have. As a club, the people behind the club, they made mistakes. Fine. You know, there was the TikTok thing. That was completely not okay. It was a social media admin person. It wasn't the club, signing this off at a higher level. But we make that mistake. We take ownership of that. Fine. But Osimhen as well. Deleting all his pictures with the club on social media, saying things in podcasts with his friend Giannobi Mikel, saying like, I don't want to play for Napoli next season. All this kind of stuff, that's super unprofessional. And it hurts the fans. It hurts the club that's currently paying you a lot of money. We signed a deal with him for 10 million a year. So we treat him very well financially. And look, Premier League clubs, they want people that are serious, They want people that will not give them these kind of problems, especially if you're going to pay big money. So there's a reason why the Chelseas of this world are not going for him. But that's on Osimhen, and that's what really is a shame, in my opinion. If he really wanted only money, he would have gone to Al Hilal. I accept that. I accept it, even though Al Hilal proved that actually they're a serious club. I mean, they did pretty well in the Club World Cup, to some extent. But yeah, he rejected 40 million, fine. So it's not all about the money. I mean, Galatasaray is still a European team. They play the Champions League. They've got a good project there. But you wonder why he can't make a bit more of an effort to get all three parties through to the finish line. That's just my personal opinion about it. Having said that, guys, I want to close this chapter with Osimhen saying that he was instrumental for Napoli for winning the Scudetto. He is one of the best strikers that has graced not just Napoli, but the Serie A. He was a monster in the air, a monster in attacking the depth and all that. It's a shame that things went the way they went. But I'm happy that we can finally, hopefully, close this, because I have no doubt that this will be closed. By the time maybe I release this video, things will be signed, sealed, delivered. At this moment, they're not yet. We are 98% there. But I cannot imagine a scenario where this doesn't go through the line, because Galatasaray put too much effort, too much public face is on the line here for Galatasaray. So it has to be done. It has to be done one way or another. The other thing, guys, that I want to say is hopefully this then kicks off Napoli's transfer season in a way that's a bit more serious than what's happened now with just Marianucci and De Bruyne, which came for free, which is not nothing, but it's a free transfer. What I'm saying is I hope that this enables us to unlock the transfers that involve a transfer fee, like the Bukema, like the Noah Lang, which, by the way, it's going to be, I think, closed in the next few days. There was a sneak peek of this because there was Napoli's obviously going to start their retreat in the next few days. Actually, tomorrow, some first tests, athletic tests will be done. And there was a program released by the organizers of the retreat, which said, at this day, it will be training at this hour, there will be an event here at this hour, a press conference on that hour, and one of the press conferences was for Noah Lang. So it seems like that's all settled with the organizers. And then a few hours later, they retracted this online. So they realized that they maybe went a little bit too far in confirming all this. But anyways, that should also come through as soon as this Osimhen money makes its way to Napoli's bank accounts. And then we obviously have a bit of capacity to do some more damage with maybe Bokema and Doye and all these guys. It is a shame though that this couldn't be done by the 10th of July, because I think Conte would have really wanted these players to be there from the 15th in 1 or 2 days time. Instead, because this Osimhen thing has taken up time and Manna's resources, it stalled everything, right? But guys, I mean, look, it's something that is complex, but it needs to be sorted out first thing first. We cannot be holding on to this situation any longer. And yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. I mean, what's your thoughts on this whole thing? How does Osimhen's image at Napoli get affected by all this, by the way that his transfer has been handled? And do you think Napoli has handled themselves well, or would you have, the first day taken that 65 million offer and just moved on with life from there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Also, let me know your thoughts about Noah Lang, Bokema, De Bruyne, all that in the comments as well. Guys, the season is about to start. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see especially how the first few training sessions will be run, the first tactical ones with De Bruyne on the field, because it's not so clear to me what position he's going to actually take. Is it going to be in place of either Anguissa, or is it going to be a new formation with De Bruyne somewhere else in the midfield? Maybe we play McTominay, Anguissa, Lobotka, and De Bruyne in midfield, and we have maybe a 4-4-2 or some kind of 4-2-3-1. It's going to be interesting to see that. So I'm excited. Guys, if you like the video, then smash that like button. If you're an Osimhen or Galatasaray fan and you didn't like the video, what can I say, man? Smash that like button as well, right? Because you made it this far. Anyways, hope you guys have a good rest of the day. And as always, Forza Napoli sempre. Ciao.